What up? It's Championship Sunday. Headed to the Music City Crit Series State Championship for Tennessee. This is the special edition, even though it's number 6, I think, in the series, but technically it's the state championship, so it's a special day for City Crit Series race. So I'm on my way there. Left about 8-ish this morning from Knoxville, trying to get there maybe about an hour or so before my first race of the day, which is the Masters 35 to 44, and that one will be with the 45 plus as well. So just like last year, it'll be combined group, but I can only win the 35 plus to 44 group. So not sure who's in it. I'm expecting some of the same guys from last year to be there. Definitely Kent Bostic again. I think he'll drop in there possibly, and I know that he likes to run several races, so he'll win like the 60 or 70 plus and then jump into our race and do his thing. Marco is, I think he might be a 45 plus, so he would technically be just outside of my category, but he might be racing for Marco. I know last year he was technically a 35 plus, so maybe he might be under 45. So he might be still in my category, but we'll see here. But it should be a good day. It looks like everything's pretty clear. It's supposed to, I think, get in the mid to high 80s or something today. So it's going to be hot at some point. I think it'll be a little bit cooler for this first race. Then I'm going to jump into the 2-3 race a little bit later on. I want to say that one is like 1 o'clock Central, 1:30, somewhere around there. I have to look at the times again. I was really just more concentrating on when I needed to get there to make sure that I wasn't late or anything for the first race, and that I had enough time to get my road legs nice and warmed up before the first race. So got everything together this morning, and yeah. So I'm on my way there now. I've got the Giro in the background, so I've got the Giro d'Italia, so I've got some cycling on my mind on the way there. And yeah, it should be a good day. I think most of my team is going to be there as well, so I'll have some teammates in the 2-3 race. I don't plan on doing the P1, 2, 3 race. I think 3 races might be a little too much for the day, but I should be hanging out with the rest of the team in the tent, and we'll watch the pro race and see our guys, cheer them on, and hopefully one of them will take a placing this year. Maybe we'll get a few state champs. We made it. We're here. Still watching the Giro. What's up, guys? What's up? Coming around checking the flags here. It looks like they are going that way, whichever way that is, but that looks more like a cross. What's that? So we got kind of a cross. I guess it's just going to be a full crosswind there. Can't tell if it's moving. Yeah, it just looks like it's going that way. So we're going to have a full crosswind. But we got Hattie B's hot chicken. Gotta get some of that later on. I gotta make sure I get some of that because I didn't get any on the day that it rained. They had to close up shop. So this time I gotta get some Hattie B's chicken before I leave.
What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video. And this is the special edition Music City Crit Series race. This is the state championship for Tennessee, the Masters 1, 2, 3, 4 race. So we're a mix of 1 through 4 category, but I think mostly ones in this one. And gonna be a nice and tough race. I can say the least. So there to the right there, you can see that's Kent Bostic, the world champion in the time trial from years ago. He is racing for CTS, and there's a couple other guys on the CTS team in this one as well. Guys from Knoxville that I know pretty well. Price and Andy, and I believe it is Trent in this one as well for CTS. So some good guys from Knoxville that I know. And then just there in front of me is Matt Baxter. So if you've seen the video of the rain, that is him just in front of me. He's actually in the 45 plus for this race. So he'll be racing in a different category. So I don't really have to worry about him too much, but yeah, there's a lot of other strong 35 plusers in this race, guys that I've raced against in the past, and you know, during the race series in the Music City as well. So I got my work cut out for me on this day. So far, we are just getting our feet wet on the first lap. Not really anything going on. But yeah, I want to make sure in this race that I'm sticking close to the front. And there goes Matt early on, not really respecting it too much. I did kind of move up there, and I was thinking, nah, I'm not going. I'm not going to take the bait this early on in the race. We're only 1 lap in. I do get to the front here, and yeah, I'm just kind of waiting on somebody else to respond, and maybe I'll get back on somebody else's wheel. But you'll notice in this race that I do a lot of things that maybe I shouldn't be doing. I don't know. You guys can tell me, let me know. But I'm the defending champion. So if you go back through my channel, you'll see the state championship race from last year. I'm the defending 35 plus, 40 plus champion, and I'm out here just trying to defend my championship. And yeah, so that's why I'm out here doing things that I probably shouldn't be doing. And I'm out here out front leading the pack for no reason at all. And yeah, with Matt Baxter out there, he's 45 plus. I'm not really too worried about it, and I really don't remember why I was out front out here, but I do get off because I realize I'm like, there's no reason for me to be wasting my energy out front right here and letting guys draft off of me. So kind of you know, squeaking back in the back here and trying to get back to the back. You can see there. Oh, Price is just right there behind me, and there's Kent. Price, I believe, is riding in the 35 plus for this one. He already won the Masters 50 plus earlier on in the day. Actually, I think right before this race. So he already won that one. He's a state champ for the 50 plus. But I think they're riding for Trent or Marco in this one. I can't remember exactly. I think that's right. But yeah, so he's a strong guy that I want to follow in this race as well. I went back to look it up real quick, and it looks like Price is in the 45 plus for this category, so he's not technically in my category in this one, but Kent Bostic and Trent are, so they're the ones to kind of watch out for in this race. And just like he did last year for Marco, he was racing for Marco last year. I actually don't believe Marco's in this race. I think he was only doing maybe the 3-4 and possibly the pro race later on. So he's not actually in this one, which I was surprised that he didn't do this one. But anyway, so yeah, Kent is riding for Trent, and then I think that's who's right in front of me there. And then yeah, and Price is in the 45 plus with Andy. So they kind of split up the teams a little bit here. All right, I had to do a quick shout out right there. To my right is Michael Twig. He's wearing the Knox Velo kit. I am the president of Knox Velo in Knoxville, so I had to get a quick shout out to him over there. That's the red and gray to the right there. Yeah, I don't wear my Knox Velo kit to races because I'm part of another team, but yeah, when I do other rides or if I do fondos or something like that, I'd be wearing my Knox Velo kit. So here we go out front. Price is pushing the pace a little bit out front, and we're getting ready to catch up to Matt, who's been out there for the last 4 laps or so. Yeah, I'm just glad somebody else did it and not me, because I did not want to go after that one that early on in the race, even though I know he's a super strong guy. I don't believe that he would get away for 40 minutes or whatever for the entire race here. So I was trying to let somebody else trying to catch up to him, and yeah, hopefully he wasn't going to get too far away. So just out front, right in my group here, is Jason Tatum, and he went on a breakaway with Price in the 50 plus men Masters race, and they lapped the field. He ended up getting second, so Price ended up getting the state championship for the 50 plus. But yeah, Jason Tatum is out for blood in this one, and he's wanting to take down the 45 plus in this one. So he's another player to watch out for as well in this one. And here I am back out close to the front again. I'm not directly on the front, but yeah, what am I doing? No, really what I was thinking in this one was stay as close to the front as possible. I didn't want to get caught up in the back and get shuffled around and whatever else. So a lot of times you will see me in this race get all the way up to the front, and yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Like, I didn't want to be directly out front, but I also didn't want to lose momentum as well. So a lot of times, yeah, I ended up kind of dragging the field a little bit, but I also didn't want any moves to go. And since I'm by myself in this race, I don't have any other teammates. I'm being a little bit more proactive and trying to, cover moves that I normally wouldn't have to do all of the work for in other races. And here we go. Here's another Nick right here coming up beside me. Pushing the pace a little bit here, and like I said, I'm not really trying to get out front, but I'm also trying to stick out there towards the front as best I can, and I'm kind of dragging the rest of the field here a little bit. I'm taking some wind on, and I'm not really drafting behind anyone, but I'm not pedaling very hard at the moment until this right here. So anytime that somebody decides to, push it a little bit more, I'm trying to get right up on their wheel. And I think I'm being pretty efficient, though, at this point in the race. I don't know what I'm doing here, though. What was I doing? Getting out here out front, getting in front of everybody. And, yeah, I'm not... I don't remember exactly. I just remember I wanted to, I wanted to be close to the front. That's the, to defend your championship, you gotta do some things sometimes. But I think that's why I kind of jumped out here. I was trying to control things a little bit, almost like a disruptor a little bit. Maybe that's what I was doing. If I can get out front and kind of disrupt any sort of like push or something like that, then maybe I have a chance towards the end here. You can see I kind of did. I kind of disrupted that, and here I go out front again. They were trying to push it a little bit there. I was right there on them on the wheel, dragging the rest of the peloton behind me, and then here I am on the front, and I'm not pedaling hard. You can see, we're going 24 miles an hour. Normally at this point right here, we're closer to 30. So you can see I'm not pedaling hard. I'm not putting in digs. I'm being a disruptor out front. And I should have pulled off already, but I'm kind of soft pedaling. I think at this moment I was looking back behind me just to see if anybody else was going to go, and see I'm going to come around this corner. I think that I pull off right here. Or no, I don't. Maybe I. What am I doing? Okay, yeah. I was like, I know I'm about to pull off. So we're pulling off to the side here. We're trying to let the rest of the peloton go. I'm looking around to see if anybody else is trying to make a move or anything. Nobody's really pushing the pace very hard at the moment. There's Matt at the front. yeah, I'm just trying to slot in and draft and conserve my energy, make sure that those moves aren't going anywhere. You know, a completely different mindset, I think, from the year before, where I was basically just like holding on for dear life in the back, and then made my move within the last like lap, basically, to win the state championship. So different mindset this year, much better fitness as well. So fitness is definitely the big thing this year. That I came into the year, I think I was doing okay coming out of the winter months. But as the season has progressed so far, I think my fitness has elevated to a different level, and I'm able to sustain a lot better. I'm able to, do more things in races. I'm doing attacks and things like that, and covering moves, and I've still got energy later on for the end of races. So definitely a different level of fitness this year, and I'm feeling a lot more confident as well. Especially coming off a win a few weeks prior to the state championship race here. But here we go. Here's a move right here, and nobody's responding. I didn't want to respond because I was hoping that everybody else was gonna kind of lift up, and sure enough, here they go. They're lifting up. I'm falling a little bit back behind here. I think I was looking to try to find a slot to fall in behind, but luckily, the rest of the group was on it, and that move didn't really go very far here, it looks like. I was kind of looking, kind of taking calculated risks on certain moves throughout this race, and just trying to watch what everybody else was doing here. I think it was paying off so far. Like I was being the disruptor out front early on. I wasn't following Matt's move early on in the race that I didn't think was gonna last very, for the entire race. And yeah, here when another 35 plus decided to make an attack, I didn't feel like he was getting away either. To me, when I was watching him make that move, it looked like it was not explosive enough to get away, if that makes sense. Like it kind of caught us off guard, but not really. Like I think he was coming back, from too far away here. And then here we go. I didn't like my positioning. I was all the way in the back again, and I put in a little bit of a dig here to get back up closer to the front. Yeah, my whole mindset throughout this entire race was stay close to the front. I didn't necessarily want to be on the front, but close to the front, so I know that I could follow moves or whatever else. And just like a little moment later here, we're coming around the bend. I'm looking over to the right. I can see things happening and don't want things to get away. So what do I do here? I'm gonna go after it. Got to, right? I'm by myself. I gotta go after stuff. I can't necessarily rely on other teams or other people to do what I need to do in this race, and so I'm bringing everybody back up. I don't. It's probably not the greatest thing. Like I don't think Kent was gonna try to get away. I think maybe he was just trying to elevate the rest of the peloton or see who he could take with him. But I really didn't want anything going, and probably not the best strategy, but I just didn't want anything going because here we go. Kent got it going, and then they've got the counter move there. I believe that's Andy going. But you can see everybody else is lifted up. So kind of like I said, calculated risks. I made that calculated risk to go after Kent, and then luckily brought the rest of the peloton with me, and they jumped on Andy pretty quickly as well. So we were able to kind of keep up, and things didn't really get away right here. Keeping my momentum going, just trying to catch up to the group. I'm cruising into the back. They've already kind of conceded, because you can see they're just freewheeling at this point. I've got a lot of momentum, and I'm just going to keep rolling through. It looks like getting behind Nick. I've still got the momentum going. We're not moving fast. And I push out to the front again. So like I said earlier, I'm not trying to be out front the entire time, but the opportunities, I guess, for me to pop out to the front like this were just like, it was a lot. There were a lot of points in this race where I was popping out to the front like this, and I'm 21 miles an hour, 200 watts or whatever. I'm not putting out anything. I'm being the disruptor at the moment. I'm looking back to see who's there, pulling off to the right, trying to see what's going on here, because if things go like this is what I'm here for. And okay, so Price is going. We got a gap right here, and I'm calling it out. I said we got a gap, but I think he had already been on a breakaway in the 50 plus, and when he pulled this one right here and I looked at him, he was looking straight forward. He was not looking at me. So I kind of knew, I think at that point, we weren't going anywhere. And and I think I looked back and noticed that he wasn't behind me anymore as well. So we had the gap. He kind of played me a little bit there. I mean, that's part of the team game. Burned a small match to get up there, and we didn't go anywhere. But I recognized it pretty quickly, and I wasn't going to keep going. And there I go, back with the peloton, and slowing down. I looked back at him. I said, "What, are you tired or something?" And I was talking to him. He'd already been on the breakaway. He already got the state champ jersey. He'd already lapped the field in the 50 plus. So it was kind of maybe fool's gold to think that he was going to keep going there. And so here we go, looking out for more moves here. We see Kent moving off to the right. See the rest of the peloton. You see some things happening right here in the back, and there goes Jason Tatum. So got to watch out for these guys right here. That's a strong group. I think that's David Kuntz as well in there, and I couldn't see who the other one was, but strong foursome right there. I guess he just went right by, though. I believe that's Nashville local. But luckily over here on the left, we had some other guys that decided they wanted to go as well. So that makes things a lot easier when other people are covering those moves, and I can just slot in there and not have to cover everything. So I was having a good time in this one, being able to cover some of the things. And I did feel like I was covering everything towards the end of the race, but it looks like some of these guys were doing a really good job of jumping on some of the other ones that I couldn't cover myself. So definitely helps out a lot, because it can get really tiring trying to cover everything and burn those matches throughout the race. But kind of sitting in no man's land here. I need to get back up to the rest of the peloton. Too much of a gap right here, but definitely think I can close it. Like I didn't think they were getting away at this point. So I was finally being chill for a while in the peloton, and then I didn't like my positioning where I was, so I'm moving on up, and my momentum kind of takes me past David Kuntz there, out to the front. I'm not really leading anybody because I don't think anybody's really behind me, so I am just kind of out to the side here, looking over to my right and just trying to see what everybody's doing here. We're not going very fast, but there we go. There's Kent taking a flyer there. There's Kuntz. There's Jason and Nick, and I'm gonna slot in there. And so that's kind of what I was anticipating. I kind of knew, like, after a few laps of non-existent attacks or anything like that something was going to happen. So it's kind of like the race sense, I guess, or the bike sense in some aspects. So here we go. I think we're pushing away a little bit. We're getting a little bit of a gap on the rest of the peloton. You can see back there, and they're having to push a little bit harder to get back up on our wheel. But nothing really happened there. Everybody kind of freewheeling at this point and chilling a little bit. So we started to pull a little bit, but it was just kind of a false move maybe. There we go, lap 20, going into 22. Didn't like my positioning again. Here I go, taking a little bit of momentum. We're not going fast, 23 miles an hour, and I didn't really have to work hard to get out to the front here, but got out there to the front, and I think that may have been, I can't remember. There was one of these laps where it was a preem lap, and I know I snuck in there and got a preem on the rest of the peloton, and ended up getting some nice free coffee. So really enjoying the coffee there, because I love the coffee in the morning. But so that was a good preem for me, even though it wasn't cash, but I will take the coffee. And then here we go. So like I said, we're on lap 22. I'm out here out front, not doing anything. And then there goes Tatum and I believe Andy just behind him. So he's covering that move. I see it and I'm like, let's go. Let me get on here. We've got a little bit of a gap here as well. Nick is working hard to get back on my wheel. I think I look back at this point and I see that the rest of the peloton's kind of right there. Didn't want this group to go anywhere because these are two strong riders. I don't know if Andy was trying to go after the jersey or not, or if they were all just working for Trent. But I know that they're both super strong riders, so couldn't really afford to let them go this late in the race. And that, that could definitely be dangerous. I already had that kind of happen a few weeks ago in the 3-4 race. So just as you would expect here, when there's a lull and we're going 19 miles an hour, there's going to be an attack. And there we go, Nashville local out there out front going after it. I believe that, yeah, there goes Price. He is on it there, and I've got to get this one because that is a 35 plus out there, and I've got to make sure that I'm covering this one. Good thing I had the legs on this day. Had to push out a lot here, trying to get out there out front and catch these guys. Easier said than done. But yeah, definitely can't let this one go this late in the game. We're less than 10 minutes away from the end of this race, and yeah, we've got to definitely close this one down. Probably not on me completely, but like I said, on this day I was trying to cover everything, not let anything go. I can't let stuff like this get away from me, and I'm doing an okay job of trying to catch it. I look behind me. I think David had said that's that 35 plus. I'm not doing anything, but luckily I had some more help coming through. I can't do it all by myself, but yeah, luckily I had some other 35 plus guys help me out here, because I couldn't completely cover that move by myself. That was a big push, a big attack, going from 19 miles an hour and trying to close that thing down and getting there. So thank you guys for helping me cover, because it's a tough job to try to cover things all by yourself here. Price was definitely not going with that one. I think he was just trying to disrupt it a little bit. But it helps so much when you have other people that are motivated to try to catch things like this. And since it's the state championship, people don't want things like this to get away, especially if they're in their category. Last year when I was in the state championship race, a few 45 plusers, I believe it was Jason Tatum actually, took, a couple guys with him, and he ended up lapping the field. And in this one, I was not going to let that happen. I wanted to win this one the right way, which is beating everybody in the field and not, just letting a 45 plus beat everybody, and then I come in whatever and finish out, and I'm not really the one on the podium. But here we go. Here's another lap. We still haven't caught him. Andy's going after him, trying to cover the move. I see Andy. I think he's just pulling off to get behind me. He's yelling at me that I need to go and get him because I'm a 35 plus, so I'm going. So he gets behind me, and I'm pushing hard again, burning some more matches. We've got a gap on the rest of the peloton, so I mean, we could connect here, possibly. If I don't really have the strength to catch him though, which is kind of a problem because he is a 35 plus out there, and I can't let that go. But I'm also like I've been covering like so much. So luckily Andy does pull through. He does help me out here. I didn't know if he was going to or not. I thought that he was really just trying to bait me a little bit, like Price did earlier on in the race. But he does push through and pull through. And luckily I had these guys right behind me that were ready to go, because I was dying. Like, covering some of these moves early on in the race and being out there out front and doing all these things, I was just like, man, I need a little bit of help. And yeah, like I said as well, like I probably shouldn't have been doing all that work, but I was on the offensive and defensive for myself, being the state champ from last year. So luckily I had all these guys come up and help, and we were able to close this thing down and bring it back with only a few laps to go in the race. All right, so only a couple laps to go. I don't like where I'm at. I'm sitting kind of in the middle of the pack here, and I had been resting up. So the last few laps that I kind of scrubbed through, I had been just resting on the back, and I've finally moved up to closer to the front, and I'm just you see a few of these guys going out front. They've got a gap on the rest of the peloton, but I'm also thinking like I can't go after this one this late in the race, even though I know it's very, very dangerous. I was just like, I don't have the energy to try to chase things down. And so luckily some other guys came through and were able to kind of help out here, because I definitely don't think I would have been able to chase him down. And that's Jason Tatum out front, the strong. He's a masters racer, but he's also a Cat 1, and he's won pro races out here as well. So he's definitely a strong guy to watch out for. But I'm sitting a little bit further back than I would like to in the race here, and I've kind of got shuffled back a little bit here on this last lap. But you can hear the bell went off, and so now I'm trying to figure out where I can move up the best, and I'm kind of boxed in right here at the moment. But I'm sticking close to the railing because I think maybe I can get an opening here, and things start moving. So that's a good thing. I want things to start moving here. I'm pushing really hard. I move to the outside here. I see this guy is winding up, so he is moving, and I get right up on his wheel, and this is it right here. This is going to take me to the finish line. And can we catch Jason Tatum? Possibly. I mean, we're right there. We're right close. I make a good turn right here, and I just kind of watching where he's going to go at this point. And then I go on the outside. I make this move, put in a good dig, put in about 1,400 watts, and boom, right there. I take second overall just behind Jason Tatum, but first overall again, state champion again for the 35 plus and 40 plus categories. So, boom. 2 years in a row, state champion. Got a little lucky there on that last lap because I was shuffled back where I didn't want to be. But definitely, it feels good to be state champ again. I wanted to get the overall win, but just wasn't in the cards. Jason Tatum definitely, he put out a good dig on those last few laps and stayed away just enough on that last little bit to be able to take the overall there. But yeah, just right behind them. So second in the overall, first in the 35 plus to 44. And yeah, feels great to be state champ again. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you know when I post videos. And yo, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.